Hello, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Game On Brad, and this is Stories: The Path of Destinies. This game just came out this week on Steam, and I saw a little tweet about it. And it's from a little indie studio in Montreal. And hey, I'm a fellow Canadian, so I'll represent for sure. But I'm really excited when I saw this game. The trailer looked amazing, and the screenshots look great. I love the art style, and I love the fact that the game has this interesting narrative quality to it. So, like, right when we start off, we'll see the book, and then the book opens up, and we start the game. While you're playing the game, instead of there being interaction between two characters, you are the one who the story is being told to, and you're controlling the primary character. But I love that style where the actual person that's speaking isn't speaking to the other character, but it's actually telling us the story as we play. So it's very interesting, and I love the special effects. And it's very hack and slash at the beginning, but there's an upgrade cycle to like the items, and you you develop skills and you upgrade your skills, and while you're moving through the world, and the story is great so far. And I know you have to make decisions that are permanent, and then you move on, and then you have to make another decision. So you usually get, like, I believe at least two choices as far as I've seen so far. So let's get started though, and you guys can see for yourself. The quality of the animations are so great in this as well. Like, even the book opening there looked great. Okay, so we're just going to start fresh. I'm not going to start with the 20-minute test run I was doing because I did notice I missed a bunch of things. So let's see how far we get trying it again. That's perfectly fine. I'm good with that.
Once upon a time, the infamous rover Reynardo plundered the floating isles. Then his mother called him to her deathbed. "Swear to me that you won't die on the gallows," she rasped. Reluctantly, he swore. And he whiled away his days at home with music, cards, and wine. But the Emperor had changed. He'd been good once, a shy, almost humble toad. He'd built universities. But then people started whispering about mass graves in the woods, midnight rituals, victims screaming. The Imperial Ravens would round up entire villages, and no one ever returned. The Ravens had come to Ubar scouting for ancient books said to be of great power. But the librarians had hidden the books, so they'd burnt the librarians. The citizens, outraged, had driven them off. The Ravens had come back with dropships. The kid had fled with one of those books. He was brave and dumb and wanted to join the rebellion. And Reynardo had promised his mother he'd protect him.
So you get a good synopsis of just the start of the game. You'll see the art style here. It's got kind of a, like a, what do you call it? The esoteric view. It's kind of like a dungeon crawler kind of view that we're all accustomed to if you've played Diablo or games like that. But the artwork is just gorgeous. Even the upgrade cycles, not the upgrade cycle, but the upgrades for like crafting weapons and increasing your abilities. It's interesting. It's actually really cool. They do it in a very clever way where it's kind of, when you start off, it's kind of doing a tutorial in a very subtle way. So you'll get a grappling hook, like that's one of your first skill points you'll spend. And then of course you need to use that grappling hook. So you use it a bunch of times and it kind of gets you used to using it. So it's pretty cool.
The kid was looking down, watching his city burn. "Sorry, kid," Reynardo told the kid. "Look, if we give them the book, they'll leave you alone." "My mother died for this book!" "I promised her I'd protect you." "Oh, damn it." The kid had run off. With the book, of course. So Reynardo had to run after him.
Okay, so hold the right mouse click to move. Got it. Yeah. So you just basically hold right mouse click down and you move wherever your pointer is. And the pointer actually shows like a little move icon, which is pretty cool. I love the art style. The art style is just
Two
beautiful.
ravens were staring at the kid like he was their dinner, which probably was what was in their tiny brains. "Hey," Renato said. They cocked their heads at him. Pick on someone as ugly as you. Wait, that didn't come out right.
For the Emperor!
The ravens cawed and rushed at him.
When the enemy is about to attack, point the arrow, push the left mouse button to counter. Okay, so what they're basically going to do is you'll see the raven. It's hard to explain. When you see it, you'll know it. The raven kind of, it looks like it almost tenses up for a second. I think sometimes there's an exclamation mark above their head as well. That's when they're about to attack, and you want to interrupt that attack. And by interrupting them, you pretty much stun them for a second. And you can bounce off enemies doing that. So if multiple enemies are trying to attack you at once, you could basically counter, and then attack each one. And you have a second or two to breathe. So you can actually adjust your combat style or run if you have to. See, so the moment I see the exclamation mark above their head, I dash at them immediately. So you just kind of have to watch for that. When you see it, go. Like, just go after them, attack them immediately. Because you don't know
Dropship flew overhead.
what they'll do.
He hoped they hadn't noticed him. The kid.
I love how the cinematics are so fluid. There's no, like, cutscene. It's just right in the game. Like, the camera just changes angle slightly. I didn't do that camera angle change. They did. And I was still controlling my character and running through the world, and they were narrating as I ran. And it's kind of cool. I like that. It didn't interrupt my gameplay. You know, I could still see what I was doing, but it was interesting to watch. Okay, so hold the left mouse button to grab, and then use the pointer to aim, and then release the left mouse to throw. I have to get used to the throwing. I'm not good at it.
The Gate of Heroes. Someone's idea of a joke, making the Skyship docks a gated community. You needed a hero's sword to open it. And the kid was on the other side of the gate. Who let you through? Promise me you'll take the book to the rebels, or I'm gonna steal your ship. I'm not taking that damn book anywhere, and neither are you.
Try and stop me, laughed the kid. I bet you don't even have a hero sword.
And with that, the kid hopped away. Had to hand it to the kid. He was an idiot, but he had guts. Where was Renato going to get a hero sword?
So if I try to go out to this door, it'll actually say wrong sword automatically. I don't even have to click on the door. If I try, I just hit the door and nothing happens. But if you go down here, there's a chest.
Ore and wind essence? That sounds about right. I'll need a perfect.
So in this case, now I have to make a sword. You can make gems as well, but not right now. Crafting, sword crafting. This is the sword crafting menu. Here you can craft and upgrade powerful magical swords. Gather the required materials from the chests scattered throughout Boreas. Okay, so then they just kind of give you a simple overview of how it works. So the selected sword's current level and special power is the first field, and then you have the selected sword special power at the next level, so it tells you what you're going to get as you level. The resources needed to upgrade the selected sword. So right now, this sword's actually pretty easy. It's just 3 ore. But some of the other swords, you're able to cycle through these ones that you could just see in the background. They become very expensive. Okay, you have enough resources to craft this sword now. Upgrade.
Sword. QED.
Yay! See, so the next upgrade for this to level 2 requires 30 ore, not 3. It only required 3 to make this sword. Now it requires 30. I love the way he looks at his sword too, swings it around like nonchalantly, and then puts it on his back.
This is what he got for settling down and finding people to care about. The kid's mum had been a swell cook, and she'd laughed at Renado's jokes, even when he didn't know he'd made one. And then the ravens had come to burn her. And she'd made him promise to protect the kid. But she never told him where the book was. Just the kid.
You could hear the disdain in the guy's voice. Just the kid. Also, when you watch him run around, when you turn, it looks like he leans into the turn, which is a nice little trick. It's hard to see if he is doing it, but it looks like he is leaning into the turn if you try to make a real abrupt turn. He like drops his shoulder into the turn.
He came up to a ledge. It was too far to jump. There'd been a bridge here before, hadn't there? And there was Peter, giggling at him. "How'd you get across?" he asked the kid. "Where'd you find a hook?" "I hopped," said the kid. Wise-ass kid.
Hey, look out behind you!
"Cute," said Renato. Ah, ravens. It was time to talk some sense into the kid. Just hook his way across the ledge and chase the kid down. Thing was, he hadn't used his hook since he'd retired. How had he done it? Maybe if he meditated at that altar there, he'd remember his old skills.
Use the altar to learn new skills. Each time you gain a level, you also gain a skill point. Spend your skill points at the altar scattered throughout Boreas to gain new powerful abilities or upgrade existing ones. So the abilities are actually pretty extensive. Like a lot of people like to say, oh, an indie title, the game is going to be smaller. This is a lot of skills for what people would consider just an indie game. Like, the game is beautiful, but look at all of these skills you could choose from. And you need more and more points. Like, this is a very classic sort of tree, but it's actually really cool. These skills are all so different. Here you can find a description of each skill and its unlock requirements. I have a skill point to spend. Go and buy the hook shot skill. So you can mouse over and look at the other skills. So they have like True Sword Fu. And then you can do Ultimate Sword Fu. And then there's Storm Recovery. And then Getting Stronger, Grab Damage, like Health, Sword Magic, more Sword Magic. Like, and it's all stat based, right? So these will update your stats. These are combat and time related. These are combo related. Like, it's amazing the way they've done this. So you can kind of just, you can customize your character. I imagine, like, if I get far enough in the game, I might be able to have all of these, perhaps? I'm not sure. So let's choose this one.
To come back to him. Something you never completely forgot. Like how to freeze time when attacking. The more he fought, the more he'd probably remember.
Okay, so the cool thing about this pressing Alt to hook posts, if you're using a keyboard and mouse, this also works really well with the controller, I'm sure, but I'm using a keyboard. So my mouse is right by my spacebar, which I often use for jumping in games. So Alt is like really easy to hit while I'm using WASD. So this right here, you just have to point at the actual post, and then you can launch your hook at it and it will drag you. And you can also drag enemies with it. You just have to point at it. The one thing I noticed in the 20 minutes I was playing is if you're by a previous hooked post and you're trying to hook to another post, you have to step away from the post you just hooked because you'll keep hooking it because it's literally right in front of you. So you want to make sure it's not in front of you so you can just hook the next post. So you'll see me step forward from post to post to post instead of just click, hook, and then I drop and then try to hook again. I'll actually step forward just to avoid that.
the Farfarer. She was the fastest ship he'd ever known. She could do the Kestrel run in 12 furlongs. Well, so the salesman had told him. And something told him the kid was about to walk into an ambush.
Stop! He shouted. I'm not giving you the book!
Shouted the kid, and took off.
No! Peter!
But the kid ran for it. And a goggler nailed him with its eye beam.
How dare he? Ew, it's got like a grapefruit brain.
The book was unburned. Next to it were the buckles from the kid's shoes, and a kid-sized pile of ashes. Damn it. Why hadn't he lied and told the kid he'd take the book to the rebels? The kid would be alive now. Really pissed off and betrayed, but alive. Oh, damn it. Renato picked up the book. He couldn't let the Empire have it now. He was going to have to get it out of there. He'd be a wanted man. Probably have to join the rebellion just to have a place to dock. Well, he'd hated home life anyway.
Take out my anger on these boxes. The kid died! How dare you! You will pay for this! It's good to actually destroy all these boxes because you can also find ore in them. So you want to destroy any destructible items just in case.
What was the big deal about this book anyway? Maybe he should open it and find out. All that had been years ago. How many? The war was a blur, and now 3 Raven scout ships were chasing him.
Where are you running, rebel?
Cawed the Raven captain over the loud hailer. Renato could see them cranking up their catapults.
Just going out for milk?
Renato yelled back.
Where can you run?
Laughed the Raven horribly. Far behind him, another city was burning. The dark cloud above its island was thousands of Imperial ships. The fleet was doing a thorough job.
Take us to the rebel base! I will spare your life!
It called. The entire jury-rigged rebel fleet was only a few islands to the east. Beyond that were only the pillars of heaven. A sea of endless blood-colored tornadoes. The rebellion was out of time. Unless Renato could bring a game-changer. Maybe he could. Renato had found out where he could find the pieces of the Sky Ripper. The legendary weapon that had exiled the lost gods. Surely a legendary weapon could win the final battle. On the other hand, his old friend Lapino had sent Renato a desperate message saying he had a brilliant scheme to save the rebellion. If Renato could only rescue him. Renato dived the Farfarer towards the abyss. As he felt the heat of the jet stream, the Raven ships peeled off, not stable enough to follow him down there. Now it was time to choose. Lapino or the Sky Ripper?
So a classic example of a decision you can't go back on. We have to choose a path now. We either help our friend, who could be a shady character, or he could be or he could be out for himself, or maybe he genuinely has something the rebellion could help the rebellion, or we go for the device. I'm the type of person that would help out friends, so the rebellion was out of time and Renato needed a game changer. Even though Lapino wasn't what anyone would consider a game changer, he would come up with some harebrained schemes. Maybe rescuing him was worth it. And the other one is an ancient artifact that defeated the Lost Gods would indeed be a game changer. Though it was split in 2 pieces many years ago, Renato could rebuild it, but first getting its armature. Or by first getting its armature. So let's go with rescuing our buddy here, Lapino.
Ah, Lapino. Apparently the Mad Rabbit had sold a Pegasus that he did not exactly own. Lapino always wiggled out of trouble, given time. But he was out of time. The Ravens had figured out that Lapino was a rebel spy. If the fleet reached him first, they'd string him up for that. Never mind the winged horse. Lapino had apparently managed to confuse the judge by arguing that he hadn't actually stolen a winged horse. He'd only sold it. But wait, where was the prison? The village was empty. Had everybody fled the Ravens? If I craft a sword now, it's going to be really short.
Okay, so I have 2 wind essence now, and I have 6 of 30 ore. Oh, that's a cool looking sword too. The Firestorm. While attacking, set enemy on fire. Costs energy. Also allows to heal oneself. That's at level 2. So I should probably stick with this weapon just for extra healing. But then I lose the extra damage, so I'm not sure what to do. I can gem socket it. So we've seen this in Diablo previously. If you haven't played Diablo, you could socket items. World of Warcraft also does the same thing. You can socket items to make them more powerful. This is actually a cool idea I wish more games would do. Your gauntlet has 3 sockets into which you can put gems. Select one of those sockets to see your gems. Each gem has 3 levels, and its effects increase with each level. Picking up a gem you already have will automatically upgrade that gem's level. You can find gems in chests scattered throughout Boreas, if you're lucky enough. So I can change stuff. I could do like attack speed, critical chance, physical resistance, elemental resistance, shield breakers, treasure hunters, or energy on kill. Treasure hunter may be more worth it, but these actively help with combat and defense. I think treasure hunter would be better, but I can't do it yet because it's locked. So I have to find a gem then. Now we have to rescue Lupino.
Good thing Renato didn't have vertigo.
So there's 3 enemies there, 2 there, 3, 4. There's an eye over on the left. There's another chest there.
People were frightened these days.
And there's a door.
Just 2 weeks past, Renato had sneaked through an empty town and listened to the Raven's call
There's
about
a
the
switch
Emperor's
up
new
there.
taste in ritual sacrifice. Renato's blood was up. He just needed to smash something.
Okay, so I can't smash through that gate. I want to actually see if I can go back and work my way up the hill. But I don't think that's going to work. I don't want to go too far in case they put a magic ward up and stop me from going back. First... Oh, I can't actually make this move again. I guess I'm stuck here. There's no way to climb up here.
He wasn't that good. Yet.
Carrot. I want a carrot. I don't think I have another skill point yet. Nope. Open sesame. The animation from the door is fantastic. The way he sticks his sword in the door, but first he grabs a hold of the door.
Disagree, said Renato. No?
Ravens were landing everywhere. The advance guard. He'd better get moving. If they got to Lupino first, they'd eat him for breakfast. Or a snack. Ravens weren't picky. If they got hungry, they sometimes forgot to interrogate their prisoners. Even top spies like Lupino. Where had the mad rabbit got to?
Yeah, so see, they put up wards here, and I can't go back up this bridge that I just crossed. I want to get to those other chests on this board, but I'm not sure how I get back there. Maybe I loop back around. Who knows? Even the sound of the windmills is amazing. You could just hear it. It definitely sounds like wood, like churned wood.
In this chest, there were woodcuts of amazingly beautiful vixens wearing no clothes at all. And something more useful.
Dash. A supernatural dash. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit more weird to do because I'll just have to use my pinky on it.
It was starting to come back to him. Something you never completely forgot, like how to freeze time when attacking. The more he fought, the more he'd probably remember.
So press any mouse button and then control? That looks like it, I guess. Dash consumes stamina. So I have to watch for that. So I have 2 stamina bars at the bottom of my screen. I guess I can upgrade that further later on, but right now it's 2, so I've got to be careful. See, so he got a hit on me because I wasn't fast enough. I am so badass. Like even the shadow from the sun is really well done.
Renato felt a chill run down his back. Or possibly a flea.
Ew, a flea? Gross. Okay, so there's a purple door here. Obviously the wrong sword, but there's a big chest there. Oh, I want that chest. This is a huge mausoleum.
For a moment, Renato wished that somebody had been watching.
Upgrade my skills. Okay, so now I have 1 point. I'll put it in health for sure, because I do need more health. I could see myself dying very quickly. Yeah, I'm going to go with health first before I go with combos, just to get myself going with a bit more. See, so sometimes you get ore. And they give you all of your options up here of how much you have once you pick something up.
Dirty and bloody, Renato finally reached Lapino. The rabbit was practicing his shuffle. Renato recognized the cards. It was Lapino's favorite deck. Oh, I thought you were in danger. I am. The ravens are coming. Oh, the prison thing. Right, yeah, see, this guard owed me 53 ducats, so we made a deal. They're very reasonable people, actually, for weasels. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia.
We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows, and that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who also happened to be a deadly sorcerer and, oh, his only daughter? That would be worth it. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must have great power.
Okay, so we have to make another decision where we have to choose one path or the other. So this one here, we have to basically kidnap Zenobia, or we deal with the Sky Ripper again, because the core is still within reach, even though we made a decision last time not to go after it. But we're at 30 minutes now, so I'm going to stop there, and I'll make this decision in the next episode. So, thanks for watching. Hi everyone, I just want to say thank you very much for watching this video. Please give this video a like, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll be posting many more videos in the future. Thank you very much, and have a fantastic day.